Because who doesn't need wellness? We all need it. Why do we need a coach? Because we don't have ICE 360. A coach gives us that wellness, all dimensional view. And Geeta Ramakrishnan is joining us today to share her insights and a program that we'll talk about in a few minutes about the seven doors to heaven. Geeta runs an organization that is a transformative journey, and she's part of this program to provide you the details of that. And we have another special mental health therapist, as she calls herself. Divya Malik is going to share the details of the program, the way this came together, the way these two lovely people have partnered as educators, as coaches, as therapists to do something very magical and calling that program Seven Doors to Heaven. I'll just get into it without further ado. Divya, start us off with what is the essence of this program? What is the Seven Doors to Heaven, and why is it called the Seven Doors to Heaven? Would love to dive in. Go for it.
Okay, so Seven Doors to Heaven is more than just a retreat program. And it's a journey, I would say, of self discovery, healing, and transformation. So, over 7 days, we guide the participants to, it's like a through the designed, very carefully designed processes, which addresses physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. So
Mm,
if you see, like these four are the main pillars of our retreat program. And and then further, we take them to a different journey where they connect with their own selves. And that's how the Seven Doors of Heaven program is all about, taking from gross reality to subtle reality. And when you move towards subtle reality, you actually connect with your true self. And
mm,
that's the beauty of this retreat program. And why we thought of this name, because each door here in our retreat program depicts one of the essence, one of the aspect of our life, which is like
mm.
physical well-being. Then second door depicts the mental health. Third door is about emotional healing. Fourth is about rational thinking. Fifth is about environmental connection. Sixth is about manifestation. And seventh is about spiritual awakening. Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, it's beautiful the way you laid it. We'll talk and quickly transition into people see this as a program, not a retreat, and a program of self-discovery. And it's a journey inward. So we'll talk about from the essence, Divya, thank you for that, to the path. Geeta, I'd like you to start off and say, how does one create this space and embrace and pause and navigate? Because this path is not necessarily a destination. So unwind for us how this path looks like when it's a circle.
So, see, we all live in stress. So, when there is stress, the general belief is that we have to push it away. Don't
Mm,
stress yourself. That's, I think that's a one way of looking at it. But if you look at it from another, like if you know Newton's third law, for anything that you push away, it'll push you back at some time.
mm,
But the plan is to dance, like in balance, like swing, the swing, Western swing dance. There's a push and a pull, and you have to be right there at the balance to navigate. So you create a safe space around you when you have that balance. And when there is this safe space, it makes you go inwards
mm.
because you're connecting with your intuitive self. And that's where you get all the ideas. Your entire ideas of how to navigate through the stress lies within you, and that space is what gives you that opportunity.
You have such a poetry with words. There's so many of them. I wish I could catch all of them and make a bouquet for myself. So we have the essence captured and the path, which is a dance. I like to think of it as a dance. It's brilliant because even spiritually, Tandav is a dance that comes to my mind when you say it. It's a symphony of energies and balance. Who would be the traveler, Divya, in this process? Who is that traveler? Who is this program designed for? And what would make someone ideal to be qualified for this transformative journey? Let's dive in.
Okay, so the beauty of this retreat is that it's open to anyone who is ready to embark on a journey of self exploration.
Mhm.
Okay, so you don't need a prior experience in meditation or yoga or any kind of healing modality, just a willingness to be present. And we focus since day one that how it's important for you to be present in the moment. Okay, because everything starts with being in awareness, and when you are in awareness you observe your intention, because
Mm.
from your intention your emotion comes, from your emotions your feelings are generated, then further from your feelings your actions are created, and every action
Mm.
has got consequences, and that's how our life has been led over the period of time. So we just tell it is for everyone or anyone who's just ready to be there in the moment. And we actually teach them to how you can be in the awareness, because there are a lot of meditation techniques where you learn all these things, but then once you are out of it you forget about it. Okay,
Mm.
but here we also empower you with different tools which can be there with you forever, so when you are out of the 7 days program you can still practice it, and with a very simple way. So it's all about simplifying your life, because our life any which ways is very chaotic these days. If you see, we are challenging to balance between personal and professional lives, so we are only focusing on simplifying your life. And
Mm.
these small techniques help you, empower you to make your chaotic life transformed into simply simple life. Yeah.
Chaos to simplicity. I love it because if you think about the traveler, there has to be a specific timing in which the traveler has to come in. And, this is an area of specialty for you, Geeta, where you feel that we understand the essence of the program. We have looked at the path to the program and the pieces that enable the path. We have seen the traveler. It could be anyone, no prior experience. And this would be, you can just walk in and walk out transformed. Talk to us about the process of the conquest. I know that you're especially attached to the accepting the vulnerability as part of the self-discovery and healing. Could you dive into this process of the conquest itself, the vulnerability, and why is it such a key aspect of healing? And how does the trust play a role in this whole process as they embark on this program?
Yeah, sure. So vulnerability is usually looked upon as a weakness, but
Mm.
we try and help people look at it as a strength. So take for example, you went to the office today and you have a headache, but you still went with a brave face, and somebody comes and tells you, "Oh, good morning, how are you?" You'll say, "Fine, I'm good." Uh, you're not good. So because people think it's they want to be seen as strong, whereas
Mm.
when you allow that weakness, the fear, the pain, everybody has the pain, fear, weakness, everybody fails. But the moment you are expressing it, that is where we give the safe space. There is no judgment. We allow
Mm.
that, create that sort of space where I would say people are not scared of being judged, what the other people will think, because that's always the prime, thought in their mind. That's
Mm.
when healing takes place. When they cry for help, and it's okay.
Mm.
Everybody are there around them to support them. That's the first step to heal.
Is it very hard to take out the mask?
It depends on how we navigate them into feeling safe. It's very
Mm.
important they feel safe, and then it'll happen. It's organic.
See, if I understood the essence of what I'm going through, this is, by the way, very, very refreshing in understanding. There are so many programs, but there's a lot of thought that has been put into designing the program, in understanding who is it for, when is it to be done, what is the path, creating that safe space. I'd like to understand the timing and the signals. When is the right time to say, hey, now I will reset and do my holistic refresh for myself? If it was a hardware device, I think it's external to me. I would want to poke around it and I can measure it. How do you holistically reset an internal part of ourselves? We can explore and go to Mars, but we don't know how to go inwards. I don't know the vehicle to that. Who would dive in and give me that right time, the right signals, the right science? Do you want to pick this up?
Yeah, so see, there is never a perfect time for transformation. Okay. But there are always signs which, like we keep getting. So, sometimes you feel exhausted mentally, emotionally, or physically, or, sometimes you feel that you need a quieter space where, you want to connect with your inner self, or just a curiosity that, okay, now I need to reset myself. So
Mm,
we keep getting these signs. Most of the times we are just neglecting it, ignoring it. But
mm,
the moment you connect with yourself, you would know that, okay, now I have to work on myself. Now it's high time. Something which is just going as a pattern in my life, being very repetitive. Yeah, being very repetitive and
mm,
going as a pattern, because also something which is not repaired would be repeated in life. So
mm,
as you feel that as a pattern something is happening in my life, and then I'm not able to do anything about it, because like you have done lot of things but nothing is affecting you, that's the signal, that's the sign that you need something like this, where
mm.
you are transforming yourself, and the shift needs to happen. And as you enter in this program, since very moment you enter, that starts working out. Because again, as Geeta ji said, that healing is a journey. It won't happen instantly. There is no quick fix.
Mm.
Okay. And we are also not working like, as a 2 minute noodles. So it's a journey. But when the healing journey starts, there is no end to it, because this is a journey of your own self. And every step you take, you are going to connect with your own self, and you are delving deep within. And as you
Mm.
delve deep within, you are connecting with the super consciousness.
Well, I was waiting for the word consciousness to come in. It's about time consciousness entered our conversation. I'll tell you about an airport experience. I had to step out and board a plane, and I had to charge my phone. It was at a certain percentage, and somebody else had to share that same charger spot at the airport. Being the nice people, we want to share energy. And you know where I'm going it with the companions who want to share energy with and share the charging station. And the first thing I asked him is, how low are you running on your phone? And he said, I'm really at 2%. I looked at mine, it was 71%. I was just proactively charging because I'm very safe in my travels. There is no percentage indicator like it's shown on our phones, on our computers, how much percentage is done, how much percentage is needed. I think genuinely as humans you said the word consciousness is we obviously give someone to a lower percentage to say come in you can share this before because I'm suitably covered. I think human soul doesn't have that kind of a percentage declared somewhere. You talked about signals, which logically takes me and Geeta, this may be your territory on who are the companions. I think as you put it beautifully, the soul groups who can share the journey with you, who can actually look at each other's charges and say, you look low on your energy. Why don't you use the charging station? In this case, the seven doors to heaven station. Why don't you charge? What is the sharing and soul group concept? Talk us about it. Talk to us about it.
Okay, for that, I have this overview. So so we are all souls, and before we are born in this earth, we have a contract which we sign with some friends, maybe saying that,
Mm,
you know what, I want to be born and I have to learn this lesson of, say, forgiveness. And all my friends, my soul friends say, yeah, oh, wow, amazing. I'll help you. I'll help you. So they are born with us as a group, a soul group, you can say. And maybe one of them is my friend, and we are very close friends, and suddenly she does something that is so horrible that it hurt me so much that we are not friends anymore.
Hmm.
But hey, I'm supposed to learn forgiveness, and she's only helping me in that, right? So I call her my soul group friend. Only thing, she's having this, this stick, and she's teaching me with a stick, and it is for me to evolve to the next level. I mean, that having said, there are people who lovingly push us to the next level as well. And I feel every time we connect for a reason, and it is that connection which brings us and a lot of people together to retreats like this.
This is a very refreshing way to look at it. So these are all not your warm and fuzzy who give you a warm blanket in a cold night. They could have taken off your blanket and make you feel chilly in the first place. Could also be a soul group. And
Yes.
I have heard about contracts in many environments, mostly because of the corporate work I do in the venture capital. But soul contracts is a word I'm going to steal right off this conversation. And if I'm in the program, this is the taxonomy, the tools, the ideas, I think new things that people would hear in the program as I'm learning it myself. If I'm in the program, I'm not going to listen to be positive, very broad, and then go back without a tool. Because if you take the 7 day, there's 358 days to use it for the rest of the year when you need to have these terminology, these tools, these soul groups. Love by soul contract, by the way. That's my favorite right
Yeah,
now. I'm going
and
to
in
stick with
fact,
it.
so how it will help people is, it's a very interesting way to learn to let go. Otherwise, it's very easy to say, "Oh, forgive that person, let go." How do you do that? But when you get a different idea and a perspective, you say, "Okay, I have to really thank that person." Very hard lesson, but I'm a better soul now.
Thank you for hurting me. That will take another podcast. It will take a whole different conversation to have because I'm sure that for the folks who follow philosophy in my world, they would need literally a whole 30 minutes on this. Thank you for hurting me because I'm now a better person conversation. But let me get back to the one step closer to heaven. We saw the essence of the program. We have seen the path. We have seen the travelers. We have seen the vulnerability and the conquest against it, the healing process, the soul groups and the companions, and the signals that you have shared. Let's bring it all together for the transformation. And I want both of you to have not the last word, but the seventh word, seventh step, seventh door. On the journey itself, how has this transformed you personally? Because you can't spread honey without sticking some to your own fingers. So, as you transformed people, as you have been a wellness coach, a mental health therapist yourself, give me your key lessons for the listeners as a takeaway, the transformation of your inner journey and how you're sharing it for the world. By the way, we are very thankful for what you're doing. Go ahead, please. Who wants to pick this up first?
Okay, so for me, because my journey has been itself of a deep exploration. Okay,
Mm,
so the way I started my own career was more into corporate hustle bustle life I had, and it I was enjoying it because I mean, like, I was growing in my career, because being a marketing professional, and if you are being appreciated, so you love to grow there in that environment. But I was also not realizing how it was affecting me adversely. Okay,
mm,
so that that self discovery of that like, what is the purpose, I would say, I started my journey into spirituality with that question, because everything is in your life is going merrier. You don't uh, get into a phase where you want to connect with yourself, because the
mm,
entire atmosphere is such that it's supporting you. But just to add more to this soul group concept, what happens when you have the soul contract, at the same time, you also know what is the purpose of your existence. So, in a human body, when we come on the planet Earth, we know the purpose that, okay, when I am going and I'm like boarding this womb as a flight, and when I'm landing, where
mm.
is my destination? What is the purpose of my existence? So, all these modalities help you. So which I got to know much later when I became this mental health therapist. But then that quest was always bothering me. Okay, I'm getting whatever I am, like, I have been wanting in life. I was ambitious child, so I was like growing in my career. But in this hustle bustle life, something happened which was kind of very traumatic for me. And that was the moment I realized that maybe I am deviating from my path. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is not the part of my soul plan, because what is the purpose of my existence here on this planet Earth? Because I wanted to do a lot of things for people. And whatever money I was earning through this corporate structured life, I was able to do in a very tidbits manner. Okay, you are sponsoring somebody's studies, you are sponsoring somebody's career, but then in a very limited manner you are helping out people. But
Hmm.
my entire purpose was to do more and more things which can add value to people's life. And and with that quest, the journey of self discovery, the journey of spirituality began. So
Hmm.
almost like 12 years back when I started this journey, I quit the corporate life. And that was a dream job which I just randomly one day I thought, and then I quit. And I always tell people that for that you need to listen to your inner voice, because
Okay.
your inner voice would never ever tell you something which is not right for you. So as you connect more and more with yourself, you would go into a life path which is actually a soul plan for you. And that's how my life got transformed. And
Hmm.
the main purpose to curate this program, when both of us sat together and we thought that the purpose of this life is to do more and more for people, and how we can become the part of others life, where we become the medium to help them. Because in our own journey, while I was trying to come out from different traumas in my life, I used a lot of modalities. And then there was no, fixed module for that. Okay, so I had to literally like wander here and there, seek a lot of information, knowledge, and then try to help myself. So I thought that, this self-help modalities which I used, maybe we can just concise it and then make it available for people on a platter, which becomes more easily available, and then
Hmm.
like work at the right time. So that
Got
was
it.
the like the motive. So I always tell that this is a motive for us, it is a purpose for us. So seven doors to heaven is just not a business module for us, so it's
Hmm.
actually a purpose of our existence on this planet Earth. So and both of us got synced with this entire thing, so it happened just naturally and beautifully.
No, no, I can sense it. Sometimes people are, to your point, beautifully explained, Divya. I know, Geeta, you mentioned about people have to project when it's not natural. The way Divya is sharing it is very, I mean, it has actually touched a lot of the point we talked about you don't have to be a superhero to run this program. You have to also be a soul group along with the learners. You're not presenting something to them saying, I'm the expert. You're exploring the journey, but you have gone through it with frameworks and you want to share this. This is beautiful. Geeta, your last word on the transformative journey and the tools and frameworks?
So I would say my journey was again, I was a very curious child and always did not and never liked authority. So, and it was a good thing I feel in the hindsight, because I ask questions and then I get to learn more.
Mm,
And then the my aha moment really was during this journey, and I used to think I know it all, right? Of course I know this, I know that, because I've read everything. And then somebody asked me, what makes you think you know it better than like somebody else? And like I said, what does that mean? Made me realize that everybody in this world is as intelligent, if not better than I am. So it's just what we need to look at the glass from the other side. So we are the writers, directors of our own story. By changing our perspective, I realized just by, altering a little bit, the whole world and the meaning changes. So if we want to write for ourselves a happy story, yeah, it's all in our hands. So this literally drove me to, learn more on this side of introspection. Went through all my journey of learning. I also had like a, struggling to balance as a mother. I have a very powerful husband, very ambitious husband, two children. Now they're all grown up equally powerful, demanding. And then in between, Geeta was not seen for a while.
Mm.
So, but what I learned, I'm offering, and all I tell people is just change your perspective, it changes your life.
You hit a nerve for me on the identity. We haven't covered that. And I think, along with the soul contract and several other frameworks I learned today, this could also be a spark for your identity as part of the transformation. I mean, a lot of lovely things we covered today, and there's also a lot of tactical things on how many will be in the program, which location will it be, what about logistics. I think that could be a second conversation on that details for us. But just to bring this all together, the last half hour we spent about why such a program was created by you two lovely soul groups and who would be best fit, what signals come in, what would be the outcome of such a program, because it's not really a checkpoint that you have now charged your phone to 100%, because like anything else, they do get discharged, so you need to find new ways to reset and reboot them. I wanted to personally thank you both for sharing your energies with a deep mind and a broad smile, because I know myself, I ink my emotions every day and call it the quantum of emotions in philosophy I publish. And for all folks who follow philosophy, one thing I wanted to say, I never endorse products and platforms and people. But when I see folks who are genuinely living their purpose and making it part of their initiatives, folks like Geeta and Divya are a gift for us. I'm truly happy that you're bringing these programs. And I wish you do many such programs in many types of age groups, many type of journey paths, and tailor them to meet their journey so the soul groups will find each other, and among everything else, build those connections. This has been a beautiful conversation. I'm sure that this won't be the last. We will have many more doors to many more heavens. And that concludes the podcast one for philosophy with the seven doors to heaven by Geeta Ramakrishnan and Divya Malik.